Hi, I am Warren Sprouse. This is the Bible Forum. We're here every Sunday night from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But you can watch this thing 24 hours a day from our website, thebibleforum.net. I want to talk to you about the Pope. Again, I'll be talking about whoever said this. It's not just him. But it is especially egregious to me because he's supposed to know better. Pope Francis just this week called for an international consensus for the abolition of capital punishment. And he's not alone. There's a lot of people who believe as he does on this issue. Is capital punishment immoral? Well, liberals say yes. I've had this debate. I had this debate in Wilmington, North Carolina when I lived there. A fellow who was actually the head of I forget what department it was at UNCW. And he was big on doing away with the capital punishment. And we had this discussion. Criminals are in favor of this. But the Pope? Why? What's he get out of it? He is putting together all these different nations, and I've forgotten now how, I think it's like 30 different countries that are coming together to discuss this issue. And his rationale is built on the idea that the commandment of God says, "Thou shalt not kill." And that commandment has absolute value, includes both the innocent and the guilty. He wants to see a world without the death penalty. They started this last Monday in Rome. Now, look at the rationale. The Bible says, "Thou shalt not kill." Modern societies can deal with crime without killing criminals. He also says that going a little bit further, a dead man can't be redeemed. Well, not by human beings, not by law, but by God. He also says it's a human dignity issue. And he couples that with the idea that this is the Jubilee year of mercy, a time of grace in the Catholic calendar. He also believes that every criminal deserves the inviolable right to life. And Catholic nations should not execute anyone during this holy year of mercy. Doesn't that sound nice? It's all well and good, except that philosophy is built on a house of cards. The Bible does not say, "Thou shalt not kill." The Old Testament law was given to Moses, written by the very finger of God. And it requires the stoning to death of people under certain circumstances. Modern societies are learning they cannot deal with crime at all. And there is no inviolable right to life. Our Constitution guarantees the right to life, but not inviolably. Murderers were hanged. Hanging was in those days the most humane method of imposing death that was known. This was at a time when France started beheading tens of thousands of citizens every year. An utterly gross and shocking method, deliberately designed to be that. If you go back to Exodus chapter 20, you read this phrase, "Thou shalt not kill." It means literally, "Thou shalt not dash to pieces." Put to death, as in a murder of someone else. Since the Mosaic Law clearly delineated both the how and the why of execution of lawbreakers. If you were a Jew under law and you committed adultery, you were stoned to death. God's law. Manslayers. If you just struck your parent, you could be put to death. Rape was a capital offense. Kidnapping. Contempt of court was a capital offense. False witness. Incest. Homosexuality. Bestiality. Human sacrifice. The sacrificing to gods other than Jehovah. A false prophecy. Necromancy. The idea of communicating with the dead, which is really interaction with demons, if it's not a trick. Blasphemy. Sabbath breaking. Witchcraft. Poisoners. Where do Bible-oriented people get the idea that God advocates for a wide open society without law? God does advocate for civil law, they say, just not capital punishment. Well, if you have a law, but you have no ultimate penalty, what have you got? You got a suggestion. What's the main reason a lawbreaker has for not breaking the law? Punishment. A punishment he does not want. If it's the ultimate crime, which is the murder of other people, what should be the ultimate penalty or cost? And the philosophical argument is, if there's no capital punishment, if there's no punishment for the ultimate crime, then there's no law. Because there's no just penalty. Everybody in the system could argue, because you do away with that none of this other matters either. Now, the Pope is a well-educated man. How come he doesn't know this stuff? Well, it's a philosophical concept, and he never took philosophy. I never took philosophy. But 5-year-olds know this philosophy. Children growing up in a household without certain punishment for prescribed behaviors are more prone to bad behavior than those who are, generally. The exceptions are something that happens within the child. It has nothing to do with the principle. So why would the head of the largest religious order on the face of the planet advocate for doing away with objective standards of punishment for crime? He's not an idiot. He's not a 3-year-old. He's not wanting to create a dangerous society, a society that is anarchistic. He is simply working to unseat God. The Pope? Yes. Why? He doesn't like God. The Pope? Yes. Well, how can you say that? Watch what he does. Listen to what he says. He has clearly ignored the biblical record, or he has deliberately corrupted it for his own purposes. He has been a steady advocate for everything socialist. Socialism is an avowed anti-God philosophy. I didn't make that up. Socialists believe that. They know that. He represents a religious system that teaches spiritual principles contrary to what the Bible does. All you have to do is look at the video that I did earlier, the one that's entitled Toward a One World Church. He's advocating for a thoroughly humanistic society, something the Bible, God's revealed word, stands against. Now, why would you do this if you love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength? You say, well, he just sees the structures or the scriptures differently than you do. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He knows exactly what they say. And so do you. Now, I just read them to you. He knows what the Bible teaches. That's why the Roman Catholic system is not built on the Bible, but on their own teachings. This effort globally is a transparent play for the hearts and the minds of men. It's an effort to win over all those who do not know God. It's an effort to place himself, his office, in line for global religious leadership. Why would he do that? Well, he knows the days are seriously short, coming to an end. He knows what the Bible predicts for those end times. He knows that only the gospel of Christ can save. And if you know those things, who would spend their moral and spiritual capital trying to strengthen humanity? A completely useless effort. All the while knowing men cannot govern themselves without God. Who would do that? Most of you who have taken the time to watch or listen to this entire rant so far will either agree or think about it. Otherwise, you'd have turned off long ago. Those who take exception are those who are ignorant of what the Bible teaches, or they are loyal to whomever is the Pope at whatever time this might be in history, or they are so spiritually corrupted by sin they can't understand even plain English if it disagrees with their moral and or religious philosophy. Meaning, you need serious spiritual help. You need Jesus in your life. You need to know that Jesus died for your sin. You need to know that he rose again from the dead for your justification in the sight of God. You need to take all this seriously and repent of your sin, the sin of rebellion against God, thinking and acting and contrary to who and what God is, and commit your heart and your life to God in Christ. Otherwise, the Bible says you will perish from this earth, and you will spend eternity in a lake of fire, something that was prepared for the devil and his angels. That's Bible. That's the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ. It's not my opinion. And it's our only hope. What are you going to do?